Hello students, welcome to grammar class. Today we are going to study the topic the tense. Please take page number 73 of your grammar chess textbook. It's lesson 15, the tense. Okay, so what do you mean by the tense? The tense means time of an action. In your day-to-day life, various actions take place in various times, is it? Maybe present tense, sometimes past tense, or in the future. So here we are going to study the main three tenses of English language. Which are they? First one is present tense, next one past tense, and future tense. What do you mean by present tense? Present tense means some actions which is happening at this time is called present tense. What do you mean by past tense? Past tense means actions which we have already done. Something which happened in the past time is called a past tense. And future means something which is going to happen, that is future tense. So in the textbook you can see that three forms of verbs, that is be verbs, do verbs and have verbs are being categorized like present, past and future. How you can use these three verb forms in simple present, not simple present, you can see it present tense, past tense and future tenses. Let's see. Be verb in simple present tense. Okay, you can take the textbook when I am teaching. It's advised to take the textbook with you, otherwise you will not understand. So please open the textbook and keep in front of you. So when I teach, you will get the connection what I am saying. So here page number 73, the verb be. Which are the verb of be forms? Be forms verbs like is, am, are, was, were, will be and shall be are called as be verbs. Okay, once again I repeat. Is, am, are, was, were, will be, shall be are called as be verbs. So be verbs, how we can use be verbs in three tense forms? That is what we are going to focus today. So here see be verbs in present tense, how you can use. Be verbs, I am. With I am, you use we are, you are, for he, she, it is, they are. So these are the be forms of verbs that you can use in simple present, or you say present tense. Just listen here. I am busy. That is present tense, is it? I am busy means something which is happening now. We are very studious. We are very studious. That's also in present tense. You are kind. You are kind. That is present tense. He is a cricket player. They are happy to go to the park. All these verbs are in present tense. Okay. So the first one we study be verbs. What are be verbs? Is, am, are, was, were, will be, shall be are called as be verbs. Now be verbs in present tense. Which all verbs comes under present tense? Am, are, is, all these are verbs which comes in present tense. Okay, very casually you say like I am busy. I am busy means it's something that is happening now, is it? It's not a past tense. It is something which is happening now. So that is present tense. Now the next one, was. Was and were, that is past tense. Is it? Was and were, you already know that. That is something which already happened. That is past tense. Now listen here. I was in trouble. What tense is that? Past tense. Is it? Was. You see the verb, I have circled the verbs in order to understand it properly. and you were absent yesterday. With the word you, with the subject you have to use the past form of the be verb were. You were absent yesterday. What tense is that? Past tense, is it? Then it was dark outside. It was dark outside. So was in what tense? Past tense. Now they were my classmates last year. They were my classmate last year. So here were also in what tense? Past tense. So was and were comes in which tense, children? Was and were comes in past tense. Okay. Is, am, are will come in which tense? Present tense. And was and were comes with past tense. Now coming to the next topic, future. Future tense, be form of verbs in future tense will be or shall be. See, for I and we you can use will or shall. Shall also is used with only I in we. Okay, with I in we you can use shall or will. Now I shall be. Then for he, she, it, they, you will be is used. He will be a doctor. It will be over by the time. You will be in excitement. So all these forms of verbs comes under future tense. Now how will you complete this one? How will you complete this answer? I shall be. I shall be. Can you just fill it? Can you just try to fill this one? I shall be in future tense. I shall be going to my father's house. That is future tense. Okay. I shall be going to my father's house. That is future tense. So here you see, for I and we you can use will or shall plus be. I shall be. I will be. Okay. Then he will be. He will be a doctor. It will be over by the time. You will be in excitement. So just see that verbs circled will be here also. Circle shall be. All these verbs are in what tense? Future tense. I hope it's clear. Once again I'll repeat. See, simple present tense of be verbs. What are the forms of simple present tense of be verbs? Am, are, is. All these verbs comes under simple present tense. And the next one, was, were comes in simple past tense. Then will be and shall be comes in future tense. So we covered the be forms of verbs in three tenses, which are they? Present tense, past tense and future tense. Present tense be form of verb include is, am, are. Past tense be forms of verbs include was and were. In future tense be forms of verbs include will be and shall be. So thus we come to the end of verb forms of be verbs in three tenses. Be verbs, we can use be verbs in three tense forms. Now the next category of verbs are do verbs. So we already completed be verbs, okay, put it aside. Now the next topic is do verbs. Do verbs, what are the forms? Take page number 74. In the beginning it is described the verb do. Simple present tense, I, we, you, they, you have to use the form do. And for he, she, it, you have to use the form does. So just remember, when you see the verb forms do and does, that is which tense? That is present tense. Okay, so last class we already studied, is it? For I, we, you, they, we have to use do. For he, she, it, you have to use does. That's already we completed that. And now 3 tense forms how we can use the do verbs. Here, do and does comes with simple present tense. Do and does comes with simple present tense. See, I do the work, we do all the chores, you do your duty, they do the charity for poor people, she does nothing all day, it does not move. So children, do and does, whenever you see these verbs do and does, remember that is in which tense? That is in present tense. Okay. Now the next one, past tense. The verb do, how it functions with past tense. In past tense, the verb form is did. Past tense of do is did. So how will you use it? It's very easy when you come to did. For everything you can use did. I did, we did, you did, they did, he did, she did, it did. For everything you can use did in past form of the verb do. Okay, now I did the homework, we did the daily chores, she did the assignment by herself, it did not function yesterday. So all these comes under past tense, past form of the verb do. What is the past form of the verb do? Did, is it? And for all these pronouns, I, we, you, they, he, she, it and all plurals also you can use did. Now the next topic, simple future. What is the future form of the verb do? Will do or shall do. For I and we, you can use shall or will plus the verb do. I shall do the work, we shall do the homework. Then for he, she, it, they and you should use will. Here you can use both shall and will, but here you should only use will. He will do it again, you will do the needful. So all these do form of the verbs, how you can categorize it? Do forms of the verbs can be divided into 3 tense forms. Which are they? Once again we are recalling what we studied. Simple present, do and does is used. Whenever you see do or does, remember that is simple present. Then past, what is the past form of the verb do? Did. Whenever you see the word did, it is past form. Then future, will do. I will do the work. That is future, something that I will be doing. Is it? So in future tense, will do or shall do is used. Now children, the verb have. The verb have, how we can use the verb have in 3 tense forms. Present tense, past tense and future, how we will use the verb have. That's what we are going to see next. The verb have in simple present tense. Simple present tense we can use the verb have or has. What is the rule of using have or has? For I, we, you, they, you have to use have. And for he, she, it, you should use has. This is something that you already learned in the last chapter. So have and has comes under simple present tense. Have and has comes under simple present tense. See, I have a pen, we have a party, you have a house, they have a meeting, she has a good friend, it has a beautiful color. So, see, all the verbs circled here belongs to what? Present tense. Okay. All these verbs forms comes under present tense. Now, the next one, past. Past tense of the verb have. What is the past tense of verb have? Had, is it? So, here see, for everything, I, we, you, they, he, she, it, for all these types of subjects you can use had. Even it is singular or even it is plural, you can use had in the past form of the verb. I had a party yesterday. I had a party yesterday. Had is the verb. We had a seminar. Here also had is the verb. He had to stay back. She had to move fast. It had a better chance. For all these circled verbs, it is past form of the verb have. Past form of the verb have is had. Okay, so we have used had here as it is the past form. Verb have, the verb have has three forms, which are they? Present, past and future. So, we are moving with past tense. Now, the next one is future, simple future. Future of the verb have is what? Will have or shall have. See, I and we will have or shall have is used. For he, she, it, they, you, it is will plus have. I shall have to stay here. We will have plenty of time. He will have thought about it. So, these are the future tense forms of the verb have. So, once again let us recall what we have studied about have verbs. Simple present tense, the verb have has two forms, which are they? Have and has. Have is used with I, we, you, they. Has is used with he, she and it. Then, what is the past form of the verb have? Had. For everything you can use had in past tense. And what about future? In future, it is will have or shall have for I in we. And for all other subjects like he, she, it, they, you should use will have. Okay, I hope it's clear. Now, children, coming to the exercises of the textbook, page number 74. So, before that, see one more thing. For I and we only, you have to use shall. For all other he, she, it, they and all, you have to use will. Okay, for I and we, you can use shall or will, but for all other things, you have to use will. For example, I dash buy a chocolate. What is here? Shall. Then we dash play in the park. We shall. Okay, shall is more suitable with the pronoun I and we. Now, coming back to the textual exercises, page number 74, the first question, fill in the blanks with the different form of be as directed. Different forms of be. What are forms of be? Which verbs comes under forms of be? Be verbs. Which are be verbs? Which are be verbs? Is am, are, was, were, will be and shall be are called as be verbs. Be verbs. Okay, be verbs means what? Is, am, are, will be, shall be, was, were. All these are called together called as be verbs. So, in the bracket it is given past tense. So, what is the past form of be verb? What is the past form of be verb? Was or were. So, which you can use as a student, I dash good in studies. With I, you have to use was, is it? So, I was good in studies. That is the answer for the first one. Now, exercise B. The rest we will be discussing in the Google Meet. Now, coming to exercise B, fill in the blanks with different forms of have. Now, let us see have verbs. Have verbs. Which are have verbs? Fill in the blanks with different forms of have verbs. See, have verbs, have, has and had are used in have verbs. So, Sonia dash a diamond ring. You have to use the simple present tense of have verbs. Simple present tense of have. So, which one you have to use? Sonia means singular, one person, is it? So, singular will use has. Sonia has a diamond ring. Now, the next one I will just try, we will just try the next one. They dash porridge last night. They, what is the past tense of the verb have? What is the past tense of the verb have? Had. For everything you can use had, is it? You don't have to bother about if it is I, we, they or any other singulars or plurals. You can use had. So, here they had porridge last night. Now, fill in the blanks using different forms of do as directed. So, let us check on to the verb of do, does and did. Do, does and did verb forms of do. In simple present, you should use do or does. Fill in the blanks using the different forms of do as directed. Richa dash the work on her own every day. Simple present tense, do or does you have to use. Richa is singular, one person. So, you have to use does. Richa does the work. So, does is used here. So, for all singulars also you can use does. That is already something that you studied in the last lesson, is it? So, Richa does the work on her own every day. Now, exercise D is a mixture of all the rules. Okay. Fill in the blanks using the different forms of be, have or do. Elephant dash big ears. So, here you can use have, is it? Elephants have big ears. It dash now 6 o'clock. So, there you can use forms of be. Which are verb forms of be? Is, am, are, was, were, will be, shall be. All these are called as forms of be verbs. It is now 6 o'clock. That is the answer. The rest we will be discussing in the Google Meet. So, we have come to the end of the topic, the tenses. So, what we studied, tenses can be divided into three, which are the main three tenses of English language: present tense, past tense and future tense. Hope the lesson is clear. Thank you.